It doesn't get much better than this, folks. A beautiful afternoon in San Luis Obispo, and the Blues are wearing their vibrant yellow tops on a Mimosa Sunday. Haven't had too many of those in 2025, but we got one today as we celebrate host families for the San Luis Obispo Blues, and SLO looks to win the series against the San Francisco Seagulls on a matinee Sunday afternoon ball game. Welcome into the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Nate Mills alongside Ryan Giacomini on the call for you today. The Blues and the Gulls, San Luis Obispo, vying for a playoff spot as they're a game outside of third place for the Walnut Creek Crawdads in what is a tight race. Alameda and Sonoma are both tied for first. SLO today, it's not possible for them to land a playoff spot with a win today, but a win certainly wouldn't hurt against San Francisco, who is 10 games outside of first place and is eliminated from playoff contention. So, as we get going here, let's meet the starting lineup for the San Francisco Seagulls. It's the center fielder Josh Hansen leading it off, with Alan Ramirez playing second and batting second. Batting third, it's the shortstop Caden Victorian, with Carson Chavez catching and cleaning it up. David Gibbs, making his debut, is in left field and bats fifth, with the right fielder Derek Waldvogel batting sixth. Ethan Johnson's the first baseman batting seventh, with Jackson Bird DHing and pitching today for San Francisco. And it's Jake Brewer batting ninth and playing third base. Here's a defensive alignment for the San Luis Obispo Blues. It's Cam Andrews Day behind the dish, with Kate O'Hara over at first base for the second day in a row. Gavin Constantine's at second base, with Sam Ardois manning the hot corner. Diego Murillo is at short. Hicksonbaugh returns to left. E.J. Royals in center, and Kosei Suzuki is in right, with Zach Telemann, who is clearly feeling healthy enough today after being hit by pitch, DHing. And on the mound for the Blues, it's the right-hander committed to the University of Washington, Bryce Johnson.
Yeah, Bryce Johnson, he's only appeared once this summer for the Blues, but in that start, that was against the Foresters about 2 weeks ago, or exactly 2 weeks ago. He threw 4 innings of no-run ball, gave up just 1 hit, 4 walks to his 2 strikeouts. So love to improve that walk-to-strikeout number. He's a 5-pitch guy, but he's really just going to go to fastball, slider, changeup. Also does have a curveball and cutter, but throws those pretty occasionally.
First pitch to the leadoff man, Josh Hansen, misses inside for ball one at 2:02 p.m. at Sinsheimer Stadium. 72 degrees and sunny on the Central Coast. The 1-0 to Hansen. Fastball, he checks his swing, didn't go around it, misses outside. Josh in the driver's seat against Bryce Johnson, who recently committed to the University of Washington. A former Beaver from Oregon State, made it to the College World Series, but hit the portal shortly after, and now stays in the Pacific Northwest to play with the Washington Huskies. The 2-0. Hansen takes it, a called strike, 2-1.
His last time out, his only time out, I should say, against the Sturs, it was really the walks that ate him up. He didn't give up any runs on it, but got himself out of a lot of jams. 2 on with no out in the first, 2 on with no out in the third, and the bases loaded with 1 out in the third.
2-1 to Josh. Lined over the Blues dugout, and that's strike 2.
It's going to be crucial today that he throws strikes, and the Blues batters feed off good pitching, and we've seen that all summer long. Now, pitching struggled a little bit on Friday against the Gulls, and the Blues bats were never able to get going. Last night, a beautiful game from Ryan Featherston, and the Blues bats were hot all night long and able to put up 6 runs.
2-2. Hansen fists it over the Blues dugout once again. This time it's into the grass bleachers, and we'll do it again on 2 balls and 2 strikes. Johnson is from Sammamish, Washington, so he's staying in the Pacific Northwest to play college baseball. Graduated from Eastlake High. Is a redshirt freshman at 6'3", 212 pounds. Didn't get a lot of action with the Beavers this past season. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Elevates the fastball, and Josh Hansen goes down swinging for the first out of the game.
Pumped it up to 91. The guy who sits around 88 with that fastball, but had a little extra oomph on that one to get it past Josh Hansen, who's arguably one of the best hitters in this Gulls lineup.
And this is why I like watching Bryce Johnson pitch so much. We've only seen him one time in league play, but just on that kind of stuff alone, that high competitive fastball, really makes you excited to watch him every outing. Alan Ramirez bats second with 1 out now.
It's also good that we're seeing him today. He was penciled in to start last Sunday, but then was dealing with a little bit of arm soreness. His arm didn't feel great, so got the day off, but he's back today, and he looks good thus far.
1-0, it's a called strike, count out even at 1-1 to Alan Ramirez, who went 2 for 3 yesterday with a walk.
And when you can pump it up to 91 in your first at bat of the game, I think that arm feels good today. It's nice and relaxed, and he's ready to go.
And manager Dean Traynor with the precautionary scratch the last time he was supposed to start. 1-1. Ramirez pops it up to the right side of the infield. Constantine moves to his left. He calls off the first baseman O'Hara and makes the flat-footed grab for the second out of the first.
Good communication there on the right side of the infield. O'Hara and Constantine able to talk it out, make the play, get an easy second out for their starter.
So with 2 outs now, it's Caden Victorian, a shortstop batting third. Went 1 for 4 yesterday in their 6-0 loss against the San Luis Obispo Blues. Double play, a pop out to first, a single and a strikeout for Caden. First pitch, Victorian takes that fastball painted on the black for strike 1. The game before that, in game 1, where the Seagulls stomped San Luis Obispo 15-3. He went 4 of 7, drove in 2 runs, and scored 1 himself. Shortstop with a wiry frame, stands still in the batter's box. The 0-1. Victorian takes in the dirt. Now an even 1-ball, 1-strike count to Caden.
What I think is going to be crucial for Johnson, I mentioned the strike throwing, but more specifically first pitch strikes, because the fastball's good, it has run, it's fast, it looks faster than it is around 88. But if he can get to that secondary stuff, mix in the changeup and the slider and occasionally that curveball, that's what's going to have these hitters fooled all day long.
1-1, Victorian flinches but takes it high for ball 2. Well, we've talked about the illusion of high spin rate that it puts on fastballs. You're saying it looks harder than it actually is. Well, that's because Johnson has a high spin rate. We call that a heavy fastball. Here's the 2-1. Victorian laid on a 4-seamer here and sends it into the light fixture down the right field line and foul.
Well, it's also going to be tough. This lineup today for the Gulls only has 2 lefties. So that fastball, that heavy fastball, as Nate said, is going to have a lot of arm side run, and it's going to work in towards those right-handed batters, and he's going to get a lot of soft contact off the hands.
Deuces wild. The pitch. Victorian takes high as Andrews comes out of his squat. It's a full count now to Caden.
And then to get even nerdier, once they maybe adjust to that fastball with inside run, he also has a cutter that he can throw. So now they're going to just try to get the barrel in and throw that cutter, and now it's going to hit off the end of the bat.
Trying to tunnel those pitches here on a payoff against Victorian. A weak pop-up sent straight back and out of play, fighting in a 2-strike count as it's still full to the shortstop from Cal State LA. The strikeout numbers this past season for Victorian with the Golden Eagles were problematic to say the least. 69 and 178 at-bats. It's his best season, though, with a 281 average. Caden swings and misses for strike 3. Johnson climbs the ladder once again and gets his second swing and a miss for strike 3 of the day. Johnson faces the minimum as we head into the bottom of the first inning on the Slow Blues streaming network. Bryce Johnson faces the minimum in the top half of the first. The Blues are now up now. E.J. Royal leads it off with Jake Hicksonbaugh batting second. Zach Tillman bats third with Sam Ardois cleaning it up. It's Murillo, Suzuki, and Andrews with O'Hara and Constantine finishing out the lineup for the Blues. On the mound for San Francisco, it's the southpaw, Jackson Bird, who is also DHing today and has batted in Game 1 against the Blues. Got a day off yesterday, but now gets the start for San Francisco. First batter, it's the right-handed hitting Royal against the lefty Bird. First offering, EJ takes it off speed for strike one. Jackson's making his second start of the summer for San Francisco. He's pitched in 5 innings with 3 strikeouts, has yet to walk a batter, and allowed 6 hits. Good for a .360 earned run average. 0-1. Royal takes a called strike 2. He's a Highlander from UC Riverside and hails from Sacramento, California, entering his senior season at 6'3", 210 pounds. Here's the 0-2. Royal takes a fastball just off the plate. Good set of papers by EJ. 1-2 now.
A 3-pitch mix, fastball slider mainly. We'll throw the changeup occasionally. Fastball is going to sit in the mid to high 80s with that slider ducking into the high 70s.
With a closed off stance from the stretch, EJ pokes it the opposite way, and it's picked by Johnson at first. He'll tap the bag himself for the first out of the inning.
It's a good play by Johnson, who we haven't seen at first base in this series. One hop, picks it to his glove side, and able to beat out E.J. Royal to the bag.
Yeah, Johnson yesterday DH'd for San Francisco and took a day off in Game 1 against the Blues, playing first base for the first time this summer against San Luis Obispo. But as you said, Ryan, that was an experienced play over at the bag. So now here's Jake Hicksonbaugh, who had himself a day yesterday. A couple of hits against San Francisco. Grounded out and struck out looking and made a diving play and left. First pitch to Hicksonbaugh, misses in the dirt, 1-0.
Well, not to mention 3 stolen bases and 2 runs scored. Just doing what he knows how to do best, which is create havoc on the base pass and create himself runs and help this team win.
Here's the 1-0. Hicksonbaugh takes a bender and a called strike, 1-1. That cannot be said enough. How often Hicksonbaugh takes off to second and even to third. It's chaos on the base pass with him. Here's the 1-1. Hicksonbaugh bounces it the opposite way, and it's barely foul down the third base line.
I think it's important to note, too, it's not even, I think chaos is underselling it. It's controlled chaos.
Yes.
Because he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows his abilities. It's not like he's just out there running, not watching anything, making silly decisions and they're working out. He knows exactly what he's doing. And it just really helps his team win games, which is why we see him back in the lineup again after a month-and-a-half stint of not playing in a league game.
1-2. Hicksonbaugh takes in the dirt and rolls between the wickets of Chavez behind home plate, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Jake, in his 13 games played for the Blues, has 8 stolen bases. Just kind of goes to show you the ratio of how often he'll take off to second, but he's got to get on first. Hicks rolls it to the right. Johnson dives. He won't have a play as it rolls into foul territory down the right field line. Hicksonbaugh rounds first and heads into second base. A squeaker double for the 2-hole hitter with 1 out in the first.
That thing had some spin on it because it snuck around the bag and then spun into foul territory, maybe 10 feet past the bag. You almost never see something like that, but Hicksonbaugh able to get it done right there, just crafty.
On that swing there, and again, you're not always looking for perfection when you're competing in a game. You look for that more when you're in batting practice. Hicks was just trying to compete right there, just throwing the barrel at the ball, kind of wrapped around it, and that's how the lefty created that spin into foul territory and that weird angle for Johnson, who could just make a dive and pray. So here's Zach Tullerman now with Jake Hicksonbaugh at second base. The first pitch, Tullerman takes it low and inside. It's 1-0.
We're talking about how good Hicksonbaugh is on the base pass, but I think this is a situation where I wouldn't see him stealing third because you have 2 of your best hitters back to back, and a base hit with his speed will most likely score him.
Yesterday in the first inning, Hicksonbaugh stole third with Zach Tullerman at the dish, so you never know. ZT takes off the plate outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Tollerman enters today's game with an 1100 OPS, a 355 batting average. He, I would say, has been the best hitter on this Blues roster all summer. Recovering from a hit by pitch he wore in the lower back yesterday, was taken out of the game. Gavin Constantine replaced him. Curveball just misses off the plate outside. 3 balls and no strikes to ZT. Well, it's good to see him healthy and in the lineup today. He's kind of battled some nagging injuries all summer. First, it was that right ankle, which was really swollen for a long time. Once that went down, then his back flared up, and now his ankle is back, and he gets hit by a pitch yesterday. It just kind of adds on to the struggles for Zach Tollerman.
Oh, well, and he's still mashing baseballs. It's impressive to see him continue to be so dominant while dealing with these issues. And they seem to not bother him at times. Maybe the adrenaline gets to him, but yesterday he stole a base.
The 3-1. Tollerman takes it off the plate outside, and it's ball 4. And you can see him gingerly walk out of the right-handed batter's box. He takes his time going down the first base line. And there's 2 runners on with 1 out, and Sam Ardois coming to the dish. Tollerman dealing with all those injuries, trying to stay consistent on this Blues roster this summer, and he's done a great job with that so far. Someone who's trying to look for more consistency in their college career is Sam Ardois right here. In 3 different years of college baseball, he's played at 3 different schools. It's been of a rocky road, but he's hoping he finds a place to call home for 2 straight years at Northwestern State. First pitch to Ardois, and it's a called strike, 0-1.
I think what's important to note about Tollerman, too, and I mentioned it last night, when you look at his first couple of games of the summer, he did not draw walks. Now, he draws walks, it seems, every day.
Not only is he walking, but he's hitting for more power, too. Just like this guy right here, Ardois.
Well, I mean, I said it yesterday, but I'll repeat it today. I think these pitchers are just starting to figure out that, man, this guy's legit, and they're working around him. And then what Tollerman does is he's patient, and when they leave a pitch out over the middle that he likes, he attacks.
A 548 slugging on the team. Zach Tollerman leads the roster in that stat as Ardois fights this one off far down the right field line, but foul. 1-2 now to Sam. Most likely have a scouting report on Sam Ardois too, as he leads the Blues in doubles with 8. And the power stroke for him hasn't been on the pull side so much. Going the opposite way with some oomph. That's how you know a right-handed hitter is really in a groove, when they start hitting for power to the right center gap, down the right field line, and that's what Ardois is doing. Prior to yesterday's game, he was riding a 4-game streak with an extra base hit. And then before that, as you said the other day, Ryan, a day with 3 base hits. So he's been seeing it really well after committing to be a deacon at Northwestern State in Louisiana. The 1-2. Ardois checks his swing, but they appeal to first, and he didn't go around. 2 balls and 2 strikes to today's starting third baseman. Ardois making his 25th start of the summer. He's batting .302 with an .838 OPS. Hixenbaugh takes off to third. Line drive to second. Ramirez grabs it and will tap the bag easily for a double play. Nothing Hixenbaugh can do that time. He was already standing flat-footed at third, and the side is retired. A double from Jake Hixenbaugh, but 1 runner is stranded in Zach Tollerman at first. Scoreless heading into the second on the Slow Blues streaming network. Top of the second inning at Sinsheimer Stadium. Blues and the Seagulls tied at 0 early on in this game, and Bryce Johnson back out there for another inning. First pitch swinging and sent into the right center alley, a base hit. A leadoff single on the first pitch from Carson Chavez. There goes the no-hitter for Bryce Johnson.
Carson Chavez got the day off yesterday, but the day before that, he was really productive in that route of the Blues where he went 1 for 2 with a base hit, 2 hit by pitches, and 2 walks.
A nice piece of hitting from Chavez. We just talked about Sam Ardois going the opposite way this past inning, and the Demon from Northwestern State lined into a double play to end the first. So now it's the lefty David Gibbs making his Seagulls debut and the recipient of strike 1 against the righty Johnson. A left-on-right matchup. Gibbs steps in with Chavez over at first base. Oh, 1. Takes it in the dirt, and it's blocked by Andrews at the dish. 1 ball and 1 strike.
When you think about this trio of catchers that the Blues have, Cam Andrews defensively he's a really good defensive catcher. But when you're going up against Caruso and Button, those are 2 incredible defensive catchers. However, he's been the best at the plate out of those 3.
1-0 misses high, or 1-1 misses high. 2 balls and no strikes.
But he just made a really nice block on that pitch before to keep Chavez at first.
Johnson faced the minimum in the bottom half or the top half of the first inning, and Chavez just let it off with a single in the second. 2-1 is dribbled the opposite way down the third base line and foul. 2-2 count now to Gibbs making his Seagulls debut.
Teammates with today's starting pitcher, Jackson Bird.
UC Riverside Highlanders together. The 2-2. Slow roller down the third base line off the hands, and Ardois gloves it in foul ground. We'll do it again on 2 balls and 2 strikes. And for a minute there, I thought that one was going to stay fair. I mean, the spinner was just hugging that chalk down the third base line, but at the last second, it rolled foul. Lefty from Palm Desert digs back in. Average lead off first base. Here's the 2-2. Gibbs takes in the dirt, and Andrews keeps it in front.
Gibbs was a toolsy guy this last year at Riverside. 93 at-bats with a 270 average. Didn't hit the ball that hard, only 2 extra base hits, but he got on base, and when he was on base, 6 stolen bags, so speedy out there. No errors as well in the outfield in 56 attempts.
The payoff. Lined into the Seagulls bullpen down the third base line and foul. In a battle against Bryce Johnson is the toolsy outfielder David Gibbs. A picturesque afternoon at Sinsheimer Stadium. When is it not, really? 3-2. Just misses inside, and that's ball 4 to Gibbs. 2 base runners in a row for Bryce Johnson after going 1-2-3 in the first.
That was a very close pitch, a good spot, a 3-2 count, but Gibbs, good set of eyes to see that one all the way in and take ball 4.
So now stepping up, it's Darren Waldvogel, the right fielder, batting 6 for San Francisco. Waldvogel came into yesterday's game late, and he replaced Jackson Bird, who started at first. Bird went 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts, and Waldvogel came in right after. Singled in the first at-bat off the bench, and after that struck out looking in the 9th inning. First pitch, Waldvogel takes it in the dirt. It ricochets off Andrews behind home plate, and the runner Chavez will easily advance to third. Wild pitch for Bryce Johnson. Chavez at third, and Gibbs stayed at first base that time. Derek's a Trojan from Skyline Community College. Has yet to play his first season with the Trojans. 1-0. Takes it down the middle of the plate for strike one. Game tied at 0 in the top of the second. Runners at the corners for the Seagulls. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Runner takes off, but Andrews holds on to the ball on strike two. So now two runners in scoring position. Gibbs with the stolen base. Chavez at third, Gibbs at second, Waldvogel at the dish. Derek has driven in 9 batters this season with San Francisco on his 17 hits. Infield plays in the 1-2. Takes high and it gets away from Andrews and a run will score. Wild pitch from Bryce Johnson and the Seagulls strike first in the top of the second.
This was the issue he had against the Sturs, where he was having a tough time finding the strike zone. But he was really good, actually, when the Sturs were able to get runners on, even with runners in scoring position. First earned run he's given up all season long.
We talked about the good fastball. We talked about the good secondary from Johnson, but it's not always cookies and cream. He's got some bad misses like that sometimes. 2-2. Slider. There's a good one right there. Hitting outside corner for a strike. First strikeout or third strikeout of the day for Bryce Johnson brings up Ethan Johnson. No relation. Johnson bats seventh and has a runner at third with the infield still playing in against the Seagulls. With one out, here's the first pitch. Check swing, they appeal. He did not go around.
That was a 50-50 one there on the appeal. Goes to Johnson, the hitter.
Johnson committed to play at the University of Missouri as a native of San Jose, California. The 1-0. Half swing, and he bounces it in front of the Seagulls dugout down the third base line and foul. 1-1 to Ethan, who started yesterday for San Francisco and went 0 for 4 with a couple of Ks. Driven in 9 this summer for the Gulls. Looking for double digits here. Misses inside. Andrew slides to his right to get there. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Ethan Johnson. You talk about the defense of Cam Andrews behind the dish, Ryan. Just in this half inning alone, we've seen him make some great efforts to keep those balls in front. Unfortunately, one of them got away just over the reach. Here's the 2-1. Fisted and sent straight back near the merchandise tent at Sinsheimer for strike 2. You can get 2 beers at one time here?
Yeah, that's the max, though.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 1 in each hand.
Fans with their reusable tin cups at Sinsheimer purchasing some beer. It's not blue score, you score as we're in the top of an inning. 2-2. Johnson swings and misses for strike 3. Bryce is 1-0 against Ethan in the battle of the Johnson Hood. 2 strikeouts in a row for Bryce, and there's 2 gone. Here's Jackson Bird, today's starting pitcher and DH for San Francisco.
2 big strikeouts. Now it allows the defense to back up with 2 outs. You don't have to make a play at the plate. You can just get the easy one at first.
Infield playing deep, as a matter of fact, as Bird takes the first pitch slider for a strike. Jackson's playing in his 5th game as a hitter. He's 1 for 17 on the summer, but has driven in 3 runs, 8 strikeouts and no walks. The 0-1. Bird pops it up high and deep, but it's a cricket home run down the right field line. Oh, 2 now to Bird. A left on right matchup. Jackson, one of the 3 lefties in today's lineup for San Francisco. As a righty, Jake Brewer stands on deck for the Gulls. David Gibbs is at third. Seagulls up 1-0 in the top of the second. Here's the 0-2. Slider trying to nibble at the outer half, and Johnson doesn't get the call. It's now 1-2 to Bird, and that was a good pitch right there.
Yeah, we're seeing a good zone today. It's not a typical zone that we see, which is usually a little bigger. You're going to get a lot of stuff that's about a ball off, so 2 or 3 inches. But it's been pretty tight out over the plate. Going to be a hitter's game today.
Here's the 1-2. Bird tied up on a pitch inside. Oh, yeah, he went around for strike 3. 3 straight Ks from Bryce Johnson to end this inning, but the Seagulls do strike first on a wild pitch that scored Carson Chavez. 1-0 San Francisco, heading to the bottom half of the second on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the second inning is brought to you by our friends at Ancient Owl Beer Garden and Bottle Shop, located just down the road from Sinsheimer Stadium. They're your home for every Blues road game at the SLO Blues Watch Party all season long. We only have one more game at the Watch Party this season, but head down to Ancient Owl and choose your beer wisely. Diego Murillo is first pitch swinging, loops it into right center, and a base hit. This guy is a hit collector.
Yeah, Diego Murillo now with that on a 4-game hit streak. And in those 4 games, he is 9 for, math is tough, 11. 9 for 12.
Wow. So here's Kosei Suzuki after the leadoff single from Diego Murillo. We always talk about the bat-to-ball skills of E.J. Royal, the leadoff man for the Blues, but seldom is Diego Murillo mentioned in that conversation.
Yeah, and I think with that hit, maybe even coming into this game, Royals' average might be lower than Diego Murillo's.
And Diego entered today's game with a .304 average, and E.J. entered with a .325.
Okay, so it's close. It's close. Diego has been a hit collector as of late, though.
Batting 5th today. A leadoff single puts him at second as Suzuki's tardy on a 4-seamer as he sends it straight back in the net for strike 2.
And this might be the exact guy you want up with a runner on first. He had 2 doubles in yesterday's game.
Bringing that double total up to 7. He's second on the team now in 2 baggers behind Sam Ardois with 8. The 0-2. Big miss outside. Chavez lunges to get there. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kosei.
Which is really impressive because Sam Ardois is having himself an incredible summer with his almost 500 slugging, but not to mention he has 36 more at-bats than Suzuki does.
The 1-2. Diego takes off to second. They have him picked off, but the throw is high. Diego slides in safely on a stolen base. A lefty move from Jackson Bird, but it's not enough to get Diego as Johnson airmailed the throw to Victoria at second. So now a runner in scoring position for the Blues. That's the tying run in Diego Murillo on that stolen bag. Suzuki trying to trade places with Diego. Swings and misses, though, for strike 3 on a changeup. First time a Blues batter has struck out today, and there's one out now for Cam Andrews. Happy Andrews Day to all those who celebrate. With his 848 OPS, he's making his 12th start of 2025. Has 9 hits in his 32 at-bats and has driven in 7. First pitch. Andrews takes a fluttering slider in there for a strike.
And I think, taking all the way first pitch was Andrews, but that might be a pitch he wants to see again in this at-bat. That thing hung up there for him.
Wind blowing straight out to left field at Sinsheimer Stadium with one out, the 0-1. Andrews takes a pitch low, 1 ball and 1 strike now to Cam. Still surprisingly uncommitted after the program at San Francisco State went under due to budget cuts. He was a Golden Gator for a couple of years and is forced to enter the transfer portal. The 1-1. Andrews takes it outside, 2 balls and a strike. You want to know something funny about why San Francisco is called the Gators?
Why?
Well, obviously there are no alligators in the Bay Area, last time I checked. But when the school first was founded, their mascot was the Golden Gators, as in the Golden Gate Bridge. Over time, they reduced the name to just Gators. 2-1, that's a called strike, but the throw from Chavez is looped into left field. Murillo scores easily after stealing third. A misgrip from Chavez behind the dish, popped it up down the left field line, and Diego ties the game.
The only thing I can think of is maybe Chavez, midway through his throw, was like, oh, shoot, my third baseman isn't on the bag.
Yeah.
But then at that point, you might as well still throw it hard so that if the third baseman gets there, he could try to make the play on it. Instead, he threw a base hit into left field.
Essentially.
Blues will take it, though.
They sure will. It ties the game at 1 apiece in the bottom of the second. So now Andrews has the bases empty with 1 out. The 2-2. Cam dribbles it to third. A big hop to the third baseman, Brewer, who gloves it, throws it across his body in time. A nice stretch by Johnson to get the second out of the inning.
Had a good sound off the barrel. Just a little on top of it, rolled it over. If you could hit that one a little harder, it probably sneaks down the line or a little more up. A couple ways he could have got a double, but instead it's a ground out and honestly a productive out. You saw 5 pitches. You were patient enough to let the runner from second score on a stolen base and an error.
Well, now you're ready for that hanging slider that he saw for the first pitch as well. Definitely want to put that one in the memory bank and wait, watch, and whack that thing the next time you get up. It's another right-handed hitter, Cade O'Hara, getting another shot at first base today, batting 8th for the Blues. First pitch, O'Hara takes a slider inside for ball 1. Cade, a primary middle infielder, and he's kind of already going through metamorphosis, turning into a pitcher right in front of our eyes. But he's just added another step to that change at first base. Now, as far as we know, he has never played first, to our knowledge. He's certainly never played first for the Blues before yesterday's game, and he has 2 starts in a row. Here's the 1-1. O'Hara flinches on a changeup that just ducks below the zone for ball 2. Cade is making his 16th start of the summer, missed some time due to a concussion sustained on the SoCal swing a few weeks ago against the Orange County Riptide. But now he's back and feeling 100%. 2-1. O'Hara bounces it to third. Brewer charges it, takes a couple shuffles, and lobs it over to first in time to retire the side. Diego Murillo with a leadoff single scores on an error by the catcher Chavez and ties the game at 1. We head into the third inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. Jake Brewer leads it off in the top of the third inning for San Francisco. A tied ball game now as Diego Murillo led off the second with a single, stole 2 bases, and came around to score on an error by the catcher Chavez. Brewer shows first pitch bunt and bunts it right into the forearm of the home plate umpire, who shakes it off. Essentially, and you put it well, Ryan, this past half inning, Chavez on that error threw a base hit. He tried to throw out Diego Murillo at third, and a misgrip or something, or wasn't confident in the throw, blooped it into shallow left field. The 0-1, Brewer takes this for a strike. Jake Brewer batting for the first time today. Started yesterday for San Francisco, but was eventually subbed out for Finn Whalen. He was subbed out after going 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. Here's the 0-2. A check swing, and he fouls it off the knob straight into the netting behind home plate. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. Bryce Johnson finished the top half of the second inning with 3 strikeouts in a row. He allowed a leadoff single to Carson Chavez, who came around to score on a wild pitch, and then a walk to David Gibbs, and after that, 3 straight strikeouts. The 0-2. Pump fake on a ball in the dirt. He didn't go around. And a 1-2 count now is Jake Brewer. Brewer made the last 2 putouts to finish the bottom half of the second. It was a ground ball from Andrews and a ground ball from Cade O'Hara. And the righty closed off his stance, and a 1-2 count as he chokes up on the bat. Here's the pitch. Brewer pops it up. Down the right field line, the first baseman O'Hara giving chase, but there will be no play as it bounces into the Blues bullpen. Brewer is uncommitted after a couple of really good seasons at Kenyatta College for the Colts. This past year, he was recognized as second-team All-Conference after a season where he batted .302 with 23 runs batted in and 4 homers. He moves his hands above a pitch inside, 2-2. Brewer good with the bat at Kenyatta and with the San Francisco Seagulls, but what he's really known for is his good arm in the infield. Makes sense why he's playing third today, and like he did yesterday too. Swing and a miss here on a changeup for strike 3. A drop third strike, but Andrews throws it over to first in time for the first out of the inning and the second strikeout of the day, and the 6th strikeout of the day for Bryce Johnson.
6 strikeouts the first time through. That's pretty good from Johnson. He only had 2 against the Stars, which are a much better bat-to-ball team than the Gulls. But that's just really efficient out there from him.
Johnson has recorded 7 outs against San Francisco, and 6 of them are strikeouts. So now we'll flip it to the top of the order in Josh Hansen. Hansen is first pitch swinging and first pitch drilling into left, but Hicksonbaugh is there as the wind bats it down, and he makes the running grab for the second out.
That's a huge 1 pitch out for Johnson. I mentioned 6 strikeouts now in his 8 outs, and all those strikeouts are fun, and that's exactly what you're trying to do to every single batter. They can run the pitch count up there, which is what he's done so far in this game. So a 1 pitch out is huge for the count.
And while you want your starter to do well, sometimes as a defense you get into a little bit of a lull when they're just delivering strikeout after strikeout, as the first pitch to Alan Ramirez is taken and called strike. It's important for the defense to stay locked in too, and Johnson isn't a guy that works really slow, so it's easy to kind of stay focused on the game, but when you aren't getting the ball hit to you, it's hard to stay in the game, as this one's foul tipped at home plate. An 0-2 count to the second baseman, Alan Ramirez.
I mentioned the pitch count. This upcoming pitch will be number 50 through 2 2/3. Usually when you finish the third inning, you want to be around 40, 42, somewhere in that range. So he's a little bit above where he would like to be.
Here's the 0-2. Ramirez pops it up, and it will be out of play. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes to the second baseman, who's 0 for 1 today. He popped out to his corresponding second baseman in Gavin Constantine for the second out of the first. One of the 2 outs today to not be strikeouts for San Francisco. Hardy again on a fastball here as he sends it into the bleachers at Sinsheimer. With 2 outs, the 0-2. Ramirez, a slow roller to short. Murillo swallows it up, throws it over to first in time. The side is retired. Johnson faces the minimum for the second time today. We head into the home half of the third, tied at 1 on the Slow Blues streaming network. Gavin Constantine leads it off in the bottom half of the third inning for San Luis Obispo. A tied game at 1 against the San Francisco Seagulls in a rubber match on this beautiful Sunday afternoon at the park. Blues about to enter the All-Star break, much like every other team in the CCL. The Home Run Derby, an All-Star game on Tuesday down in Compton. Constantine checks his swing, and it's taken for strike 1 either way. So waiting on those rosters to drop to see if Blues will be represented in this game. The lefty Bird comes set in his third inning of work against the righty Constantine. The 0-1. Gavin takes it well outside 1-1. We have some idea, if we were to guess, about who would make the team. There's also key guys who aren't on this roster anymore that we saw at the beginning of the season as shoo-ins for this game. The 1-1. Constantine swings and misses for strike 2.
Yeah, I mean, if still here, I would say without a doubt in my mind, Brendan Comerford and Don Jordan would be CCL All-Stars.
Yep.
Now they both parted from the Blues.
Aiden Sims, if he pitched more. He had an innings limit and had to leave early. 1-2. Constantine goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the day for Jackson Bird, and it's the first out of the third.
Blues, first time through the order, get a run on 2 hits. Not too bad. A little more production would be preferred, absolutely, but Blues will take it. It's tied 1-1, and now they get the top of the order.
There's EJ, who's 0 for 1 today with a ground ball out to the first baseman Johnson in the first inning. Just kind of poked it the opposite way and threw his barrel at it, and it was a good play by Johnson over at first. It took a short hop, it swallowed him up a little bit, but he was able to glove it and tap first base himself. Bird paints the corner on the outside here for strike 1. The 0-1. EJ takes it well outside. Chavez has the slide to a knee to get there. 1-1 now to EJ. Jake Hicksonbaugh stands on deck. He recorded the first Blues base hit of the afternoon with a double down the right field line. EJ dribbles it to third. Brewer is there and hurls it across the diamond in time to retire the center fielder for the second time today. He's 0 for 2.
It's been 3 really good plays from Brewer. Just the last 2 innings. A couple where he's had to come in and make a sidearm throw on the run. That one where he took a step back to get it on a better hop and then had to plant his foot and make a strong throw across the diamond.
There's Jake Hicksonbaugh, the only left-handed batter in today's lineup for the Blues. 1 for 1 day today. one of 2 Blues to record a base hit. He hit that double in the first, and then Diego Murillo led it off with a single in the second. First pitch, Hixenbad takes in the dirt outside, 1-0. Jake is making his 10th start of the summer for San Luis Obispo and has 5 hits in his 37 at-bats entering today's game. Now make that 6 of 38. That double that he hit in the first was actually his first extra base hit of the summer. Here's the 1-0. Jake takes it low again, 2 balls and no strikes.
It wasn't hit hard, but it had some nice spin on it. It was put in the perfect spot. That's kind of what Jake is known for. He's not known for, crushing baseballs, but he knows how to place it well.
A seeing eye double, if you will. The 2-0. Jake takes a called strike on the inner part. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Yeah, we're so used to seeing doubles here with batters like Don Jordan, Mason Ashlock, Sam Artois, Zach Tollerman. These are doubles that are sent to all parts of the yard that one hop the wall. Jake's was a little more vanilla as it rolled down the right field line. There's a sharp grounder to short. Victorian can't handle it. A base hit for Jake Hixenbach. He starts out the day today like he did yesterday. 2 for 2.
He's seeing the ball well, and he's putting good barrel on it. Right there, that one hit right in the 5-5 hole and too hard for Victorian to glove.
A 2-out single for Jake as ZT steps up. There's Tellerman with Hixenbach over at first. Hixenbach jets towards second. The throw goes down. Head first slide. He's in there safely. And what do you know? Jake Hixenbach steals 4 bases in 2 days.
It's what he does best, man.
Great jump, head first slide. Chavez really took his time reeling that one up and firing it down to second. But Hixenbach is in there with the head first slide on the go-ahead run, now in scoring position for the Blues. Tollerman lines it through the 5-hole, a base hit. Hixenbach, oh yeah, he'll get the green light and score easily. Zach Tollerman cooks one into left field, and the Blues take the lead against the Seagulls 2-1.
I mean, that was a good piece of hitting. He ripped it hard right to the left of Victorian. And yeah, you knew Hixenbach was scoring with ease the whole way. Rene Regalado was A, not going to stop him, and B, even if he did, Hixenbach was probably blowing right through it with his speed.
We've seen runners go through Rene Regalado's stop sign, I think, once this season. And the reason why it's only happened once, you see it more in summer ball, is because he really gives a stop sign.
Almost never going to get it with Regs at third.
Artois' first pitch swinging, he grounds it to second, but Ramirez will tap the bag himself to force out Tollerman, and the side is retired. But ZT gives the Blues the lead on an RBI single in the left field, scoring Jake Hixenbach from second base. 2-1 lead for San Luis Obispo as Ryan Giacomini's got you on the play-by-play for the next 3 innings on the Slow Blues streaming network.
Victorian, Chavez, and Gibbs due up in the top half of the fourth inning. Blues now lead it 2-1 thanks to Zach Tollerman. His RBI single scoring Jake Hicksenball from second gives the Blues their first lead of the game, as Bryce Johnson will head back out there for his fourth inning of work. He's already struck out 6 batters in his 9 total outs. First pitch is a slider that misses high to Caden Victorian for ball 1.
The Blues are able to manufacture that run off the bat of Zach Tollerman, and that's the style they want to play. None of this wild pitch, balking nonsense. They want to play vanilla, win a clean game with base hits and stolen bags. Victorian
hits the 1-0 offering into center field. Royal will range over without his lid and make the grab for the first out of the inning. A 2-pitch out for Bryce Johnson. Sits down, set his 7th in a row.
And Johnson really in a groove today, and even though we've only seen him pitch one other time, it was a great outing against the Santa Barbara Foresters. There was a lot to be excited about today against the San Francisco Seagulls, a team clearly inferior to Santa Barbara, as the Foresters are 20-8 and San Francisco is 8 of 22, almost an inverse record. So if Johnson can have success at the highest level at this league, he can certainly do it against the Gulls, and he is.
First pitch to the catcher Chavez is a slider that ducks down below the zone for ball 1. Chavez has scored the only run of the day for the Seagulls. Came in the second inning after he reached on a base hit. He got the second on a walk from Gibbs and scored on 2 consecutive wild pitches. Out of the stretch, here's the 1-0 slider for a called strike 1. Ace is free to today's backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out here in the top half of the fourth inning. One is swung on a missed. Yanked a fastball and got a swing from Chavez to get ahead in the count 1-2 to the Ram from Fordham, who's about to play some college baseball with his little brother, Caden, who just recently committed to play at Fordham. Chavez is entering his junior year as he fouls that one back. He had his best season this last season, a .278 average, 10 hits in his 36 at-bats with 4 doubles, 9 driven in, good for just shy of a 400 slugging, and a .426 on base. One-two, a curveball that hits Chavez square in the back. A hit by pitch for Bryce Johnson. It's a 1-out base runner for the Gulls.
Now that was all spine right there. Chavez was reeling after that one, and luckily for Carson, that was a curveball from Bryce, who runs that fastball up there, topping at 92. You never want to see that. And second free pass of the day for Bryce. He walked David Gibbs in the second and now hits Chavez in the fourth.
David Gibbs just finished his freshman year as a Highlander in the Big West at UC Riverside. It's the first pitch to him is a ball down. From Palm Desert, California. But his favorite teams are up in the Bay Area. Giants and the Warriors. Favorite athletes, Bumgardner, Tim Lincecum, and then Bryce Harper. Fouls that one off the front foot to even it up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
The one that makes the most sense to me is Bryce Harper, because Harper's from Vegas, which is close to Palm Desert. The Bay Area connection, I'm not too sure about.
Unsure as well, but I mean, you got to think, growing up, he's an incoming sophomore as he swings and fouls that one back. 19 years old, so 10 years ago when the Giants dynasty was just finishing up right after they won their 3rd championship, he was 9, just got into baseball probably right around 2010, which is now 15 years ago. He was 4, so growing up around that, and then 2015, Warriors win their first championship, so maybe close enough and good teams. That one blocked by Andrews. I mean, honestly, like, I know you're a Padres fan, so you're not a huge fan of the Giants, but how can you not like Madison Bumgardner and Tim Lincecum?
Oh, for sure.
They were dominant.
I famously saw Tim Lincecum throw that no-hitter against the Padres at Petco Park.
Yeah, the second one, the 148 pitch one,
yes.
49. That was electric. 2-2, down and in, count runs full.
Well, here's my thing. I'm a big, follow the teams in your area guy. Palm Desert is only 2 hours from Dodger Stadium. With traffic, of course. It's L.A. I mean, that drive to San Francisco is 8+ from there.
Full count, down and in for ball 4. Hit by pitch and a walk, put 2 on for Derek Waldvogel.
And Johnson having to work here now. Was it in a jam in the second inning with Gibbs at third. And Carson Chavez eventually came around to score on a wild pitch. Trying to not repeat history here. He's coming off of an inning after facing the minimum in the top half of the third. And it seems to be a trend for Bryce today. Face the minimum in the first, give up a run in the second, give up a walk, and a wild pitch scores a run. Then in the third, you face the minimum. And now here in the fourth, San Francisco is threatening to tie the game with the tying run at second base.
It's very similar to his outing against the Stars, his first start of the season, where in the first I mentioned he gave up a walk and then a base hit, had 2 on with 1 out. And then in the second inning, he had 2 on with no outs. Third inning, bases loaded with 1 out. So you see kind of the pattern where he gets himself into trouble, but he only gave up 1 run and it was unearned in that start against the Stars. So far, he's given up 1 run and it was earned today against the Gulls. And now he'll look to work out of the jam, see what kind of clutch he has with 2 on and 1 out. To Waldvogel, who struck out looking on a fastball. His last time up, that was in the second. First pitch is a slider. Andrews blocks it, but it squirts away far enough for both runners to move up 90 feet. And now it's really starting to look like deja vu.
Yeah, Cam did exactly what you were supposed to do on a pitch in the dirt. Put your knees on the ground, put your body in front. But I think that time it just kicked off the wrong part of the knee pad from Andrews. And an unfortunate break. He had to hustle to it. Nothing he could do. Both the runners advanced another 90 feet. 2 in scoring position. Now the infield has to play in. You're up by 1 against San Francisco.
All 4 infielders with their toes on the grass. It's another day for Dean Traynor where he has 4 shortstops on the infield. All 4 infielders, O'Hara, Constantine, Murillo, and Ardois, we've seen at shortstop at some point in this year. Good frame on the fastball from Andrews there to steal a strike. 1-1 to Waldvogel.
Sometimes people build teams like that. You even see it at the major league level. The team I think about, my San Diego Padres. Tons of shorts. They'll fill a whole field of shortstops.
1-1 is hit on the ground, fielded by Murillo. He'll look the runner back at third, throw it over to first. It's high, but O'Hara able to catch it and get his foot down for the second out. A big out there, a ground ball right at Murillo.
Overthought the throw a little bit there, kind of pushed it over to Kate O'Hara at first, but someone who is primarily a shortstop is pretty savvy over there at first base. Made the hop over into foul ground and quickly went back into fair territory to avoid a collision with Derek Waldvogel. And I'm honestly surprised the base runner Carson Chavez didn't take off on a ground ball read. It's 1 out. That's what you're taught at third, and it paid off for him because they just got the out at first. There's still two in scoring position.
Ardois will stay with his toes on the grass. Everybody else backs up as that one is fouled towards the Blues dugout. Home plate umpire initially just signaled that it was a strike and that Andrews biffed the catch, but then he corrected himself and said, no, Ethan Johnson fouled that off.
Yeah, in this situation as a home plate umpire, it's very important to signify that it is a foul ball when you're a team trailing by 1, you have 2 runners on.
Cam Andrews kind of looked at him like, wait, he fouled that. The runner was breaking for home. The 0-1 was a curveball that misses high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Battle of Johnsons once again. Ethan in the left-handed batter's box with Bryce on the mound. Bryce won the first battle with a strikeout swinging. 1-1 is swung on and popped up. It's going to be playable in foul territory on the grass for Ardois, and he will glove it for the third out. Bryce Johnson is 2-0 in the Battle of the Johnsons as the Blues take their 2-1 lead into the bottom of the fourth inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. This half inning is brought to you by SLO County Golf, offering 3 incredible courses in the San Luis Obispo area, 1 in SLO, 1 in Atascadero, and 1 in Morro Bay. They offer a unique combination of both beautiful scenery and affordable prices. To book your tee time and for more info, go to slocountygolf.com. Diego Murillo leads it off, followed by Suzuki and Andrews in a 2-1 ball game as Murillo is late on the fastball, swings through it, no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, Jackson Bird's day is done. The lefty who's going to stay in the game as a DH. Started, went 3 innings of work, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts.
It's now Appleby, working primarily out of the stretch. The 0-1 is a changeup that misses low. Tried to pull the string there. Outside on that one, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Murillo, base hit, 2 stolen bases and a run scored in the second. Gave the Blues their first run. 2-1, swung on and chopped up the middle, fielded by Victorian. He'll take a couple of hops and a throw to first. Strong throw to first, I should say, for the first out of the inning.
And got a candy hop that time, charging it. And sometimes at Sinsheimer Stadium, that's more than you can ask for. An easy hop over to short, make the throw on the run. Easy as 1-2-3. Murillo's 1 for 2 today.
Now it's Suzuki, who's looking to have a more productive at-bat after striking out his first time. Suzuki also played in yesterday's game. He went 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles, a walk, and a run scored. Good day for Suzuki. He's kind of known for hitting doubles, I would say.
It's a good thing to be known for. Hashtag hit doubles, right? All your problems go away when you do that.
That one is ripped into left field over the head of Gibbs as he races back. He's not going to be able to make the catch. Suzuki rounds first, and how about it? A double for the kid.
Right on cue, Kosei Suzuki hammers it into left. Gibbs did all he could to try to get to that baseball, but just over the extension of his glove, and Suzuki in at second base with a two-bagger.
Suzuki in his last 4 at-bats, 3 for 4, a strikeout, 3 doubles. Setting the table for Cam Andrews, who is 0 for 1 today with a ground out, as Appleby and Chavez are going to talk it through on the mound very briefly for this at-bat against today's backstop for the Blues. Former Gator, still looking for a new place to play, and he's put himself together quite the summer. Any college would be lucky to have this kid behind the dish, day in and day out. Good egg as well, as the slider misses high to Andrews. Andrews still with 2 years of eligibility heading into his redshirt junior year. Hits that one right back up the middle, and it's gloved by Appleby. He'll walk it over to first, and then a small flip to Johnson for the second out.
And just an unlucky break there. Andrews caught a barrel and rolled it right back to the pitcher, Appleby. Made a good reflex play, and an even better job by Suzuki over at second base. He had a really aggressive secondary, nearly halfway to third, and he retreated right back to the bag because he knew the pitcher, Appleby, was going to pump fake to second, and if he was caught in the middle, he would have been dead to right. So Suzuki retreating at the right time, and a runner stays in scoring position for the Blues.
Now it's O'Hara, another Blue who is uncommitted for next season. Originally from Tustin, previously played at UT Austin. Looking to drive in a run here with Suzuki, who still stands on second with his one-out double, as Appleby pumps in strike one. O'Hara has driven in 5 this year on his 9 hits, 2 doubles, his 3 RBIs in league play. Is the 0-1. Is swung on a miss. A slider was about 3 balls off the plate and got O'Hara to chase.
That's something about Cade, too. His struggles have been offensively this summer, expanding the zone just a little bit too much. You don't have to, especially in an 0-1 count. A wild hack here at a slider outside. Hitting is hard, though.
A two-way guy for the Blues as he chops that one foul. He's been struggling at the plate as of late. He started the season on a tear. His average was up around 350. It's now under 200. But he's still been a really good arm for the Blues, acting as a closer from time to time. Trying to be a two-way guy at whatever college he could play at in the spring. Started his two-way career here as a San Luis Obispo Blue 2 summers ago. Here's the 0-2, misses up and in. Rolling out of the way is O'Hara. One, 2, up and in, same spot. O'Hara ducks out of the way, and the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with the runner on second. O'Hara waggling the bat, awaiting the 2-2 offering from Appleby. Here it is. A curveball that just misses, and the count runs full. That was right there, and Appleby did not get the call.
Well, here's some Central Coast news for you guys. Tyler Bremner of the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos has gone to the Angels with the 2nd overall pick in the 2025 draft.
111 strikeouts and 14 starts this year for the Gauchos.
I mean, not a lot of people had that.
O'Hara hits this one high and pretty deep out into left field. Gibbs continues to go back on it a couple steps in front of the track, makes the grab for the third out of the inning. Blues unable to tack on more after the one-out double from Suzuki. They'll head into the fifth inning, up by 1 on the SLO Blues streaming network.
They're not in a rush.
Back here in the top half of the fifth inning, there's a new pitcher for the Blues. It's Matt Betancourt.
Betancourt coming into today's game. Bryce Johnson's day is done. He got 6 strikeouts in his 4 innings of work, 2 walks, 1 run. It was not earned on a wild pitch. Carson Chavez came around to score on that run. But Johnson was wheeling and dealing. He hurled at 1.4 strikeouts in a row and just got out of an inning in the 4th where he stranded 2 runners in scoring position. So good day for Bryce Johnson, and I'll try to keep that same energy here coming out of the bullpen.
Betancourt, a Sunbird from Fresno Pacific. As first pitch swinging is today's starter and designated hitter Jackson Bird. A weak pop-up to Murillo at short for the first out.
He hit the first pitch pop-up to Bird. Nice job coming right out of the pen and getting that out. And you got Jake Brewer now, who was the 4th victim in that strain of 4 Ks for Bryce Johnson. And trying to repeat history here is Matt Betancourt. He has 13 strikeouts in his 15 2/3 innings pitched so far this summer with the Blues, and he's making his 8th appearance.
Last year at Fresno Pacific, as slider misses outside. He had a much better season than his freshman year. He lowered his ERA all the way down to 4.41 in his 14 appearances through 16 1/3 innings, with an 0-1 record. As the 1-0 is chopped to third, Ardois will make a strong throw to O'Hara, who keeps his foot on the bag for the second out.
Yeah, can he hop over to Sam at third? Able to make the play over at first.
Look at these numbers. These are good numbers for Betancourt. 19 hits in 16 innings. 8 runs. The only thing you'd like to improve is 9 walks to 11 strikeouts.
For sure, and it kind of embodies what a lot of the staff represents. The walk numbers are high, but when they're on, they're on, and they're throwing strikeouts, and the stuff is nasty.
Swung on and chopped to Murillo. Throw over to first is on time. A 4-pitch inning for Matt Betancourt out of the bullpen, and the Blues bats are back up. 2-1 Blues on the SLO Blues streaming network. Constantine leads it off and swings and misses at the first pitch from Appleby in his second inning of work. Appleby replaced Jackson Bird, who went 3 innings and gave up 2 runs, both of them earned on 4 hits. Struck out 2, one of which is Kevin Constantine, who's in the box, as he watches a fastball up and away for strike 2.
And the new pitcher, Matt Betancourt, came into this inning for the Blues and got 3 batters out on 4 pitches. That's some efficiency right there. Get those bats right back up and get that momentum going.
Slider fouled back and over the netting, right into the grass behind home plate. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. Constantine, last time he started was against the Walnut Creek Crawdads a week from today. He went 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. He watches that one for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Constantine been struggling this summer for the Blues. Is really trying to turn it around here in the bottom half of the 5th. They're trying to extend the lead against the Gulls. A little too tight right now for their liking.
He watches that one outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Constantine battling back after down 0-2. He now has it evened up with his baby blue batting gloves. Watches that one high from 0-2 to 3-2.
And that's a good take right there from Gavin, too. You're trying to expand the zone with 2 strikes, and it's a meaty-looking fastball in the upper part of the zone. He's able to spit that one outside. That's a really good take.
Now looking for a pitch he can attack and a full count. Here it is from Appleby. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Constantine goes down swinging for the 2nd time in today's game.
Yeah, 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks, and he worked himself into a nice count. He saw some pitches that he liked, some he didn't, and he acted on them appropriately. Just couldn't quite finish it off with that strikeout swinging. His struggles this summer continue in the bottom of the 5th.
Now it's E.J. Royal, who, for his standards, he's slumping a little bit. He went 1 for 4 yesterday and got caught stealing, and today he's 0 for 2. First pitch slider is a called strike. Appleby placed that one perfectly on the outer part of the plate. Reese Appleby faced 4 batters in the 4th inning as that one is fouled back. Appleby is a club baseball player at Cal Poly. Last year finished 2nd in the nation as Royal swings and laces that one into the right center field gap, but ranging over is Waldvogel, and he'll make the grab for the 2nd out.
You wouldn't be able to tell, though, a club baseball player playing here on a collegiate summer league. Cal Poly is one of the premier club baseball teams in the country. And Appleby was a big part of that coming out of the pen for the Mustangs.
Yeah, he was really good for the Mustangs this last year. He was 4th on the team in strikeouts, and the Mustangs went 15-0 in their conference play and 18-2 overall as Hicksabaugh watches strike 1 right at the knees. He also got an at-bat. P.O. get an at-bat. He went 0 for 1.
Oh. Sorry.
Finishes last year in his 11 2/3 innings pitched as Hicksabaugh hits this one off the hands and into shallow left field, and it's gloved by Victorian for the 3rd out. A 1-2-3 inning for the club player, the Mustang, Reese Appleby, as we head into the 6th inning. 2-1 Blues on the SLO Blues streaming network. Matt Betancourt back out there for a second inning of work. Sat him down in order on 4 pitches. And the 5th, a pop out and a couple of ground outs to the right side. As his first pitch is a slider to Alan Ramirez for ball 1. Ramirez 0 for 2 today, a pop out in the 1st and a ground out in the 3rd. His third at bat here in the 6th inning as he watches that fastball up and in. The count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike to today's second baseman. Very quickly, it's 3-0 to Ramirez, who hails from Santa Clara, California. Spent this last year as a Spartan at San Jose State. He redshirted as he's swinging 3-0 and hits it hard, but foul right past his third base coach. The sophomore season he spent with the Vikings at Mission College, where he slashed 373, 476, and 627. 201 at-bats as he is swinging 3-1 and pops it up shallow on the outfield grass as Murillo, and he makes the grab for the first out.
Ramirez is retired, but that's impressive in that many at-bats, that slash line. You said 200?
201 at-bats.
Yeah, it's good.
75 hits, 20 doubles, 2 triples, and 9 home runs with 55 driven in, 27 walks to his 27 strikeouts with 22 stolen bases.
Yeah, coaches called him an extra base hit machine, and he's awfully toolsy, but he's popped out here.
I mean, that's 4 tools right there. Hit for contact, hit for power, speed, and we've seen him have a good glove out there too. Right there, though, he is retired. Second time he popped it up today. Now it's Caden Victorian, who's also 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. Swings and misses at the 1-0 offering, and the Aces are free. To today's shortstop for the Gulls, Victorian, playing in his hometown, Cal State LA, moved up to the Bay to play some summer baseball. As he flinches at that changeup, it takes it for ball 2. Has consistently gotten better at Cal State LA. In 2023, his freshman year, he hit 227. Then his sophomore year, 241. And his junior year, 281. That fastball is yanked. 3 balls and 1 strike. Not only that, but the slugging has gotten better. The on-base has gotten better. His on-base, 293, 317, 368. The slugging, his freshman year, was at 320. Last year, 365. So constant improvement playing college baseball as he takes a huge hack at that 3-1 pitch and misses, pulled his head, the count runs full.
Yeah, he wanted to get greedy on that 3-1 offering. He got an elevated fastball that he liked, and it's tough to lay off it.
Full count, swung on and fouled back. We'll do it one more time. Victorian enjoys playing basketball and video games in his free time. Majoring in business finance as he rips that one into center field for a base hit. And that's cash money for Caden Victorian, his first hit of the day.
That's the second base of the day for San Francisco. Carson Chavez hit the first one back in the 6th, and after a 4-inning drought, San Francisco on the board with that single from Caden.
Well hit. Seam returned to sender. Has Victorian on first with good speed. The Gulls are down by 1, looking to tie it up here in the top of the 6th inning. Maybe even take the lead. Good power at the plate. And Victorian, who slugged just south of 400 at Fordham this last year. Move over to first is not in time. Reached base safely both times today. A hit in the 2nd. He later scored. And a hit by pitch in the 4th where he was stranded at 3rd. First pitch, hit on the ground softly to Murillo. He flips it to Constantine at 2nd. The throw to first is on time. 6-4-3 double play ends the inning just like that. And Matt Betancourt has faced the minimum through 2 innings. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning on the Slow Blues streaming network. Zach Tollerman, he's hot to go as the leadoff hitter in today's game, as he'll be followed by Ardois and then Murillo here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Blues lead by one, but looking to tack on more. As Tollerman gets set in the right-handed batter's box where the chalk has completely disappeared. Reached base safely both times today. A walk in the first, was stranded on first, and an RBI base hit in the third, also stranded on first there, as he watches a slider in the dirt for ball one.
Now Blues up 2-1 against San Francisco, but it's still a little too close for comfort here. Again, this is the last place team in the CCL North that has been eliminated from playoff contention. They're 10 games outside of first place. The Blues want to make it a little bit more than a 2-1 lead right now.
1-0. Watch your lips as Tollerman falls to the ground. That one up and in near the helmet.
Yeah, he's been a ball magnet lately. Dealing with that ankle and lower back injury, it just kind of seems like pitchers have been coming in on him, which is surprising because of how good he's been at the dish. How are you bringing a fastball inside to a hitter like that?
He leads all active players on the Blues with 7 hit by pitches. He's ahead in the driver's seat, 0-2. He takes that one outside, and the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. Tollerman has been on quite the tear. Yesterday, he had a hit, reached 2 other times on a hit by pitch and a walk, and here he's going to reach for the 3rd time today. On a 4-pitch walk from Reese Appleby. And that'll be Ardois, who is 0 for 2 today, but ran into some unfortunate luck in the first, where he had a 93-mile-an-hour seam right at the second baseman that turned into a double play with Hickson ball taking off for a third.
Blues have walked 2 times today. Both of them were Zach Tollerman. One in the first and now one in the 6th.
And as I mentioned when he walked in the first, he was a guy who, at the beginning of his stint here this summer, he didn't walk at all. He was a guy who was just aggressive at the plate, and in the last couple of games, in the last 2 games, he has 3 walks. If you go back another start for him against the Sturs on Thursday, he drew a walk in that game, 2 walks in his home game before that. So he's just been getting on base via the walk, and when he's not getting on base via walk, it's hit by pitches, it's base hits. Kind of just been really productive for the Blues, which is exactly what they've needed in the middle of this order, and that's what's helped feed his over 1,000 OPS. It's going up today. He's reached base safely all 3 times. That on base is going up as Ardois is out in front of the first pitch changeup and fouls it off.
The only Blue on this roster to have an OPS above 1,000. He's been doing it all this summer for the Blues. They just hope he can stay healthy coming down the stretch of the postseason.
It's the guy Ardois who slugs it like Tollerman does, just under 500. Tollerman just above as the 0-1 misses down. As I mentioned, though, he's 0 for 2 today. He lined into that double play in the first and then grounded out to second. Both of his at-bats ended the inning, first and third. Looking here to be productive. Blues would love an insurance run for this pitching staff that's been locked in today as Ardois fouls that one off, and it's 1-2. Ardois just recently committed to be a Demon. Previously played at Louisiana Lafayette. Blues teammate Riley Marcotte, who actually just departed from the Blues after yesterday's game. 1-2, swung on and ripped into left center field. Going back on it is Gibbs. He is going to settle under it right in front of the warning track. 98 miles an hour off the bat. Ardois did not miss that one by much.
Oh my goodness, just another big, tough break for Sam Ardois. He catches this one on the screws. Gibbs was already playing deep in left field, so he couldn't get burnt this time. Took a couple hard steps back, and that's all he had to do. Made the running grab right in front of the warning track, and Ardois is retired. And L7 in the books just doesn't seem right for that fly out.
Got extremely unlucky. Obviously hit that ball hard, but Gibbs was playing deep as it is. Gibbs was, I don't know, maybe a step, 2 steps in. That ball gets over his head and is easy extra bases for Ardois. You still write it up as a quality at bat as Murillo watches his changeup in the dirt for ball 1. Murillo, 1 for 2 today. He scored the Blues' first run in the game in the second when he reached on a hit, stole 2 bags, and then got home on the error by the catcher, Chavez. Picked in the dirt by Chavez. Grounded out in the 4th. Tollerman still stands on first after drawing a walk to lead off the sitting. Blues trying to make that leadoff walk hurt as Murillo swings and laces this one back up the middle. A base hit for Diego Murillo, his second of the day. That's 3 straight days with multi-hit games for Diego Murillo.
Man, like I said a little earlier today, this guy just collects base hits. This one not necessarily hit all that hard, but a perfect barrel, finds it right up the middle of the field, keeps the line moving along with 1 out. Murillo is 2 for 3.
Let me correct myself. That's 4 in a row with multi-hit days for Murillo. It all started against the Sturs 4 days ago when he batted 9th on his birthday and went 3 for 4 day after that, as that one's in the dirt and blocked. 3 for 4 again versus the Seagulls in game 1 of this series. And those back-to-back 3 for 4 days bumped him up from 9 to 5 in the lineup. Then yesterday, 2 hits. Today, 2 hits. Appleby now dealing with 2 on. First time that he's allowed 2 base runners to reach in an inning. With Tollerman on second and Murillo on first for Kosei Suzuki, who ripped a double the last time he was up. He hits this one the other way. It's flaring. Foul. About 10 feet foul. Suzuki thought that one had a chance to be fair. Ace is free. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. With 2 on in a 1-run ball game in the bottom half of the 6th inning. No hold at first. Murillo with a sizable lead. Tollerman a good lead himself. Suzuki swings and misses. Pulled the string on the changeup, and Suzuki swung over the top of it for strike 2. Cam Andrews waits on deck, hoping to get an opportunity here to help his team out. The only way he wouldn't is if a double play ended this inning as Suzuki fouls that ball back to the netting.
Kosei has grounded into 3 double plays this season for San Luis Obispo, so that is certainly in order. He actually leads the team in that metric. He has grounded into more double plays than anyone else.
Tied with Brady Alves and Don Jordan, who is no longer here. 1-2, swung on and chopped foul. Suzuki staying alive, waiting for a pitch that he can rip. He has 3 doubles in his last 4 at-bats. The Blues would take a double right here. Most likely score 2 runs. Good speed at first. Average speed at second. They and I have talked about it before, but not recently. Kosei Suzuki has one of the weirdest bats I've ever held in my life. It's very top-heavy, but it works for him as that fastball is yanked by Appleby and stopped on the backhand by Chavez.
It's top-heavy, but it's also just heavy, like in general.
It works for Suzuki,
yeah.
Obviously. With that double, he now is tied for first on the team in doubles with Sam Ardois, who just ripped a ball into left field. That was caught by Gibbs. But he has 35 less at-bats. Suzuki swings and fouls that one off the face mask of the umpire.
That was a hack. Did you feel the whoosh from that one, Ryan?
Yeah, I heard it too.
Yeah.
From all the way up here.
Well, that's the whole strategy with that heavy bat that Kosei Suzuki has. Centripetal force. Did you pass physics?
I never took physics.
Never took physics?
No.
I did physics honors.
Oh, whoa.
So,
all right.
The end loaded of wood bats, the reason you want to end loaded is to generate more centripetal force. You need to generate more energy to swing hard. It makes your bat speed go up.
What does that word even mean?
So to put it into perspective, like if you have a cup of water, right?
Sure.
You put it on a platform and you put strings attached to it.
Okay.
And you swing it around in circles above your head. So like forward and behind, you're doing this. The water's not going to fall out.
2-2 swung on and fouled off again.
That's because gravity is going to push that water towards the end of the cup, and it's just going to stay there. And that's how end-loaded bats work, is because all that weight's at the end. Gravity is going to put all that weight at the end. You're going to need more force to move it around, thus higher bat speed, thus higher exit velocities.
So, like, I knew.
Are you writing this down, by the way?
No, so I knew that in my head. I just didn't know there were, like, fancy big words for it. Because I know that the heavier bat that's top-loaded needs more force, and then it's going to create more whip through the zone.
So you knew it, you just didn't know the
I just
label.
didn't know the words.
Yeah.
I've never taken physics. The 2-2 swung on and chopped. This is going to be a tough play for the pitcher, Appleby. He fields it on the bare hand. His throw to first is way offline. Rounding third and scoring with ease is Tollerman. Diego Murillo is getting the wave. The throw is not in time. A RBI base hit for Kosei Suzuki. He gets to second on the air, and the Blues tack on 2 more.
Well, a big error. That's one of those moments, if you're San Francisco, you're not trying to be the hero there. Don't try to barehand it. You got a piece of leather on your left hand for a reason. Just make the play and throw it over to first. You don't got to make a highlight reel in a situation like that. You're down by 1 against the Blues, and now the risk that you go against there is that now you're trailing by 3 against San Luis Obispo.
Fortunately for Kosei, he does not get an RBI for that because of the error, I should say. But the Blues get 2 more runs, and Suzuki is the one who created them. As now there will be a meeting on the mound between pitching coach Cage Cascone in this 4th season with it was actually the manager and general manager, Mark Caviglia, and he is going to make a move to the bullpen. We're going to have a new pitcher. Blues add 2 more, and they lead at 4-1 on the Slow Blues streaming network. Appleby's day is done. He is responsible for the runner on second, but it'll be a new pitcher, David Orlinski, as the Blues just tacked on 2 more runs after Suzuki reached on a single, and then a throwing error from Appleby scored both Murillo and Tollerman. Orlinski pitched a couple days ago, or actually yesterday, against the Blues. As he pumps in strike one. He threw the 8th inning. He gave up a run on a hit and an error. Also got a double play ball from Brady Alves, who's not in today's lineup. He has to deal with Suzuki on second for Cam Andrews, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts in today's game. That one misses up and in. Ace is free, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The runner on second base. First game of the series was on Friday, and the Blues got crushed. They lost 15-3 against the Seagulls. Yesterday, able to bounce back. They shut out the Seagulls in a 6-0 win. Today, the rubber match. The Blues are up 3 over halfway through this game as that pitch is up above the head of Cam Andrews.
Well, that almost hit Cam, too. Watch your lips. This is only Orlinski's 3rd appearance this summer for San Francisco, and it's been a rough go. He's only pitched an inning in 2/3 and allowed 3 earned runs in those innings. Off 1 hit, 2 walks. No strikeouts yet.
Andrews ahead, 2-1. Fastball misses up and away. It's 3-1 to today's backstop for the Blues. Former Gator. Spent 2 seasons up in San Francisco proper at SF State, Division II baseball. And Nate mentioned earlier their baseball program got cut due to budget cuts. Now is in the transfer portal as he hits that one high but not very deep into left field. Racing in on it is Gibbs, and he catches it with 2 hands for the 2nd out. Andrews is retired for the 3rd time in today's ball game, and that'll bring up Cade O'Hara.
Cade again trying to get on the right track. He's 0 for 2 today. And a fly out to left in the 4th and a ground ball out in the 2nd to 3rd. Been struggling in league play, especially. Only 3 hits in league play. So would be a big opportunity here to drive in a run and extend that lead a little bit more. Some more cushion. Let's get out of slam rage. Why not?
3 hits in league play, 3 RBIs. He's played, this will be his 4th consecutive start. 2 at short and 2 at first as he swings and hits that one the other way in the air. On the run is everybody on the left side, and it's going to fall foul for strike 1. O'Hara 3 for 43 in league play. Blues scored 1 in the 2nd to get the scoring started for them, and then another in the 3rd to take the lead. Now have scored 2 in the 6th to make it a 4-1 ball game. Goals got their 1 run in the 2nd inning. Here's the 0-1 in the dirt, a changeup. Good leave from O'Hara as it's blocked by Chavez and keeps Suzuki at second base. O'Hara didn't play this last year at UT Austin, is now in the portal. Sophomore year, appeared in 13 games as a pitcher in about 20 innings as that one is up above his head and he has to duck out of the way. Tossed a scoreless frame in his debut on the mound versus Houston Christian on my birthday.
HPD.
In 2024. The 2-1 misses inside, a slider that didn't have enough break.
You didn't know it, but he gave you a present, Ryan.
Yeah. His pitching debut at the Division I level was on my 20th birthday. Who would have known? The 3-1 up high, ball 4. Cade O'Hara reaches on a walk. That's consecutive days where he's reached on a walk. Yesterday, it was an RBI walk, actually, in the 1st inning. In that 4-run inning the Blues had. Now it'll put 2 on with 2 out for Gavin Constantine.
O'Hara might have just gotten a call there. This pitch was really close to take, just above the zone, but O'Hara was confident the entire time through. He knew right away, started taking a couple steps over to first right as the catcher Chavez caught it. And 2 runners on with 2 out for Constantine.
Constantine is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts in today's game, both of which were swinging. Suzuki dancing off second. First pitch is a fastball that misses high for ball 1. Constantine has really struggled at the plate this summer. He, in his last 7 at-bats, has struck out 5 times. And he's 3 for 40. But a base hit here, an RBI, get him back on track. The Blues looking to take it out of slam range, as that fastball is a called strike on the outer part.
It's a good pitch there, nibbling at the outside corner. But I'm curious how that was called a strike and the one to O'Hara was not. Different spots, but still, that one was more off the plate than the ball called, or the strike called on Cade.
It's all pretty tight zone early in the game. It's starting to loosen up here in the later innings as O'Hara fouls that one back, hits off the top rope of the netting, and goes into the grass. That ball's 2 inches higher, and I think it's heading right for Jacob Lee, our press box director.
Oh, and down goes the wine down on the grass, too. Yeah.
Oh, well, hopefully the Blues score, and they can go get a $4 wine.
There you go.
Hopefully it didn't spill on anything, too, and like any clothes. That's impossible to get out. Both runners go. Pitches in the dirt, and there will be no throw. A double steal executed to perfection by the San Luis Obispo Blues.
Kiddo's got a ball. That's all that matters.
Hey, if I were 5 years old, I mean, honestly, anywhere between like the ages of 3 and 10, I would trade my shirt for a baseball. Nowadays, probably not. The 2-2 was swung on and hit pretty well out to center field on a line. Ranging to his right is Hansen, and he will make the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. The Blues tack on 2 runs. Suzuki single, and then an error from the pitcher. Brought in Tollerman and Murillo as I pass it over to my partner and my pal, Nate Mills, for the final 3 innings on the SLO Blues streaming network.
Our first contestant.
A 4-1 lead for San Luis Obispo in the top half of the 7th, and Blues pitching has been sweet like chocolate. 6 innings of work, allowing 1 hit on 2 runs. Betancourt and Johnson are wheeling and dealing against San Francisco. First pitch misses outside to David Gibbs for ball 1. Gibbs today has a pair of walks, and he is the only Seagull to walk. He's got both of them. 1-0. Big swing and a miss as his top hand stays on the bat, his bottom hand lets go. And it's 1-1 now to David. The lefty against the right-handed throwing at Betancourt. Takes a fastball dotted on the outer half for strike 2.
Betancourt in league play has been pretty good for the Blues. 4 ERA and 9 innings pitched coming into today's game. Not a big strikeout guy.
1-2, misses in the dirt. Andrews keeps it in front. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Kind of came in a high leverage situation. Up 2-1, and he had to face the bottom of the order to start, but he's worked now through 6 batters and has faced the minimum.
The 2-2. Lazy grounder to the left side. Ardois scoops it up. Hard throw over to first is in time to retire Gibbs for the first time today. And Betancourt coming out of the bullpen for the Blues. Betancourt wearing a mock neck with sleeves on a warm July afternoon. If I was him out there, I'd be melting as we celebrate National Ice Cream Month. Here's Derek Waldvogel now. He's 0 for 2 today. Waldvogel checks his swing, but it's a called strike, 0-1.
And I gotta say, I'm not a big ice cream guy. Not as much as I used to be, but a good dessert gets me right.
Bouncing ball to third. Ardois moves to his left, spins, and hurls it over to O'Hara at first for the second out of the inning. 2 putouts by Sam Ardois, records 2 outs in the 7th.
Little pizzazz from Ardois. You're taught on a play like that where you need to stop your momentum, slow down a little bit to make a little spin. Right there, that one was probably a little unnecessary, but yeah. Why not?
He could have done a little like plie moving to his left side. So here's Ethan Johnson with 2 outs now. He's 0 for 2 today. A strikeout swinging and a pop out to third. First pitch misses for a ball. 1-0 to Johnson, the first baseman. Batting 7th and a future Tiger at the University of Missouri. It's left off the plate outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Johnson.
In their battle, Johnson versus Johnson, Bryce Johnson came out on top.
Twice now. The 2-0. Big swing and a miss on a sweeper here for strike 1. Yeah, strikeout in the first, and then he got that weak pop out to Ardois in foul territory in the 4th. And Bryce wins the war. 2-1 just off the plate outside. 3 balls and 1 strike now with 2 outs.
And the ump thought about that one. He saw Andrews frame it and kind of tilted his head like, it's close, but I don't think I can give you that one.
Here's the 3-1. Big swing and a miss here as it's foul tipped underneath the glove of Andrews behind home plate for strike 2. Here's the payoff. Slider is torched into right, but it's foul. Ethan Johnson smothered that miss up and inside. And I'd imagine Betancourt won't be going back to this pitch in that at-bat. Johnson in an open stance. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Matt Betancourt pulls the string and goes 1-2-3 in the 7th. Time to stretch at Sinsheimer. Blues up by 3, 4-1 on the Slow Blues streaming network. Top of the order due up for San Luis Obispo in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Blues up 4-1 against the San Francisco Seagulls. And it's E.J. Royal, who is 0 for 3 today. A ground ball to first, a ground out to third, and a pop out to Waldvogel in right field. First pitch, Royal is hit by a fastball on the elbow, and a leadoff base runner for the Blues. That fires up Slo's dugout. There's been some mild chippiness between these two teams. You can go back to game 1 against San Francisco when the Gulls were up 15-3, and guys on the Gulls were stealing bases in the 8th and 9th innings.
Yeah, I mean, Gavin Constantine was out there in the 8th inning, and he's a position player out there just trying to throw strikes and not have to use an arm. And the Gulls are out there taking walks, stealing bases. It's not something you do, and there's definitely a little bit of chippiness. Blues threw behind a batter, and it was definitely a heated moment in that big loss.
So here's Jake Hicksonbaugh now. Again, having another good day at the dish after receiving his second start in a row on this July afternoon. He's 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and a pop out to short. First pitch, he shows bunt, pulls it back, and he takes it for ball 1. Hicks is the only left-handed bat in today's lineup for the Blues, and he bats second as a Colorado State Pueblo commit. Here's the 1-0. Hicksonbaugh leads it off the plate outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Zach Tellerman awaits on deck. He's reached on base in all 3 plate appearances as E.J. Royal inches off first. 2-0, and an easy take for Hicksonbaugh outside as the changeup for Orlinski misses off the plate. 3 straight balls for Jake. A righty is getting loose in the bullpen for San Francisco, but for now it's the righty from UCLA, Orlinski, on the hill. Jackson Bird started today's game for San Francisco, and then Reese Appleby came in. Pitch misses high, and that's a 4-pitch walk to Jake Hicksonbaugh, who has reached in 3 of his 4 plate appearances this afternoon.
He's making a case to be today's dog of the day.
I fear today's dog of the day has to be the pitching staff.
Does it?
2 hits, 1 run.
7 strikeouts. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll see. Never know. Still some game.
Still some game. We've just entered the final third of this ball game at Sinsheimer Stadium as Mark Caviglia heads out there to talk to his right-handed pitcher, Orlinski. Righty's still getting loose in the bullpen for San Francisco. And Caviglia taking his time on the hill, so E.J. Royal will trot over to his third base coach, Rene Regalado. Hicksonbaugh exchanging some words with the first base coach, Paul Teixeira. As there's runners on first and second now, E.J. was hit by a pitch to begin this inning, and now Hicksonbaugh has just walked on 4 pitches. A couple of free ones to begin this frame. Blues are already up 4-1 against San Francisco, and the Gulls are trying to stop the bleeding here. So after a long and deliberate conversation from Mark Caviglia, they will replace Orlinski in the bullpen. We'll let you know who the new noodle is right after this on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher in for the Seagulls. It's a right-hander, Gaber. Alan Gaber, a rising junior from Las Vegas, Nevada, uncommitted after a couple seasons at the College of the Desert. Right-hander steps in with a fastball cutter, slider combination. From the right-hander, it's going to be moving away from these right-handed batters. So if I'm guys like Zach Tellerman, I'm getting up on the dish. Runners on first and second, Blues up 4-1. ZT takes in the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes.
It's kind of tough for Tellerman to do because his normal stance, he's front to back in the batter's box.
That's right. Well, he does have those long arms. He can get extended and poke it the opposite way if the pitcher, Gaber, throws it over there. Yanked fastball skips in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to ZT. Reached on base in all 3 of his plate appearances this afternoon. That includes an RBI single in the 3rd, sandwiched in between a couple of walks. Scored a run in the 6th, a part of the 2 spot that the Blues put up against the Gulls. 2-0. ZT takes it outside. 3 straight balls from the new pitcher, Gaber. The 3-0. Tellerman takes it low and outside, ball 4, and that will load the bases for Sam Ardois.
Sam Ardois, a guy who has been unlucky twice in today's game, and now would be a great time to end that streak.
At this point, the baseball gods have to reward you, right?
Yeah.
A line drive to second base at Ramirez that was hit hard. Scorched a line drive to left field, and Gibbs made the catch. He's just knocking on the door from busting this game wide open.
I mean, in that 6th inning, he probably missed that ball by a millimeter.
Yeah.
It would have been a 2-run home run if he hit it just a little bit more on the screws.
Ardois leads the team in homers, or is tied with Zach Tellerman with 2. First pitch, well outside. Chavez has to come out of his squat to get there. 1 ball, no strikes to Sammy. Sam today lined into a double play. And lined to second and lined to left. That hard contact is there, just can't seem to find any real estate. Here's the 1-0. Ardois, big swing and a miss on a sweeper here for strike 1. Just a little early and out in front. Bases loaded. Royal at third, Hicksenbot second, and Tellerman at first. Blues already have 7 hits on the afternoon against the Gulls. The 1-1. Sammy takes it off speed low. 2 balls and a strike now.
This is an opportunity for Ardois to attack. Gaber is having a tough time finding the zone. Got Ardois to swing at a pitch outside of the zone, but he's probably going to get a good one to hit right here with Gaber just trying to get it out over the plate.
Here's the 2-1. Fastball popped up and off to the right, out of play. And 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Sammy. He's got to clutch up here with no outs. The righty in the back of the right-handed batter's box, or what's left of it, as the chalk has been wiped away with 5 runs scored in this ball game. Here's the 2-2. Ardois with a half swing hits a slow roller to short. It's cut off by the third baseman Brewer, who throws it over to first, but a run will score. An RBI ground out from Sam Ardois makes it a 5-1 game for the Blues.
Ends up being a productive out. The Blues will take it, and they still have 2 in scoring position with an opportunity to really get it out of slam range.
And this one was tailor-made to Victorian at short, but the third baseman Brewer had a full head of steam moving towards first, so he kind of called him off and made the throw on the run to get Sam Ardois. That's the first out of the inning. E.J. Royal, the man who led off this frame with a hit by pitch, comes around to score. It's 5-1 slow, and Diego Murillo steps in with a 2-for-3 afternoon. A pair of singles, 2 stolen bases, and he scored on an error twice. 2 errors in today's game for San Francisco. Both of them scored Diego Murillo. First pitch, takes it low and outside. That's ball 1.
Now the infield comes in for the goals. They understand the importance of that run at third.
That's Hicksenbot third, and Zach Tellerman's at second base. Here's the 1-0. Murillo takes a slider outside. It gets away from the catcher Chavez, and Hicksenbot will score with ease. A wild pitch scores Hixenbaugh from third base, and it moves Zach Tellerman up to third. 6-1 Blues now. A hit by pitch and a walk to begin this inning have both scored in the inning. The only walk that's left now that's on base is Zach Tellerman. A 2-run frame for the Blues in the bottom half of the 7th. As Diego Murillo hitches in his stance. Middle infield plays back now, and Diego swings and sends this one into center field, and it plops in front of Hanson, a base hit. RBI single, Diego Murillo. This kid cannot be stopped.
Dude, he is ridiculous. 3 hits today, 2 hits yesterday, 3 hits the day before, and 3 hits the day before that. I mean, he's recorded, what is that, 11 base hits in 4 games?
Is that good?
Yeah.
So here's Kosei Suzuki, who also has a multi-hit day as well, a double and an RBI single. In his first at-bat, though, he struck out swinging.
Not to mention, that gives him his 5th RBI of this 4-game homestand.
High and outside, catcher Chavez stands up to get there, 1-0.
Yeah. Maybe, man.
Certainly a player of the week.
Oh, I think it's not close.
Yes. Here's the 1-0. Suzuki just late on a 4-seamer as he sends it to the right of us for strike 1.
Actually, I take that back. It is close because Sam Ardois also had an incredible week.
Yeah.
He had 3 straight games with an extra base hit, but these last 2 days he's been a little bit quieter, and Murillo has just kept up his slaughtering of baseballs.
And Ardois was just behind Zach Tellerman in the voting for last week's player of the week as well. The 1-1. Suzuki leaves it outside, snap back throw to first, and Murillo's back in time with a head-first dive.
Yeah, Ardois has been so close multiple weeks. We keep snubbing him, but it's like the Blues players are consistently just performing at a high level, and Ardois is doing the same. It's just every once in a while, Murillo, he's 10 for his last 13.
Yeah. Got to reward that. Here's the 2-1. Suzuki fists it into center, but Hanson will have a play as he saunters to his right and makes the grab. Murillo retreats back to first base. 2 outs now. That brings up Cam Andrews. Oh for 3 today. A ground ball to third, a ground ball back to the pitcher, and a pop out to left. Today's catcher is batting with a runner on first, and what is now a 7-1 game for the Blues. First offering misses up and outside. Chavez backhands it to get there. That's been a frequent miss for Gaber in his outing ever since coming out of the bullpen. Up and away to these right-handers. And it makes sense. A fastball, cutter, slider mix. If you're trying to sweep away from these right-handed bats, you're going to miss there. 1-0, a half swing from Cam Andrews, and it's 1-1. Murillo inches off first base with 2 outs, the 1-1. Swinging a foul tip off the leg of Chavez behind home plate, and Andrews now sits in a 1-2 count. Cam making his 12th start of the summer this afternoon with the Blues. An 848 OPS. That leads catchers on this team with a 281 average. 0 for 3 today, though. Average will certainly sink after that. Kate O'Hara stands on deck for the Blues. With 2 outs, here's the 1-2. Takes low and outside. Another snap back throw to first. Murillo is there in time, feet first standing.
You say it's going to sink for sure, but I mean, a base hit here would still make it sink. 1 for 4, 250 average on the day, but could help maintain it, and the Blues could tack on some more runs.
Here's the 2-2. Andrews takes it down the middle of the plate, strike 3. He knew it immediately. Murillo stranded on first after batting in a run with his RBI single, his third base hit of the day. And the Blues extend. It's 7-1 heading into the 8th on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top of the 8th inning, the Blues extend their lead 7-1 against the San Francisco Seagulls. Diego Murillo batted in a run with his third base hit of the day, and 2 walks came into score on an RBI ground out from Ardois. And it's 7-1 now. First pitch is a strike to Jackson Bird, 0-1 against Matt Betancourt. Bird is 0 for 2 today. A strikeout and a pop out to the shortstop Murillo. The 0-1. Bird, a big swing and a miss on a changeup for strike 2. The lefty Bird steps in with an open stance, sitting back in that back left leg. The 0-2. Jackson takes it in the dirt. He leaves that offering alone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Andrews has been great behind the dish today for the Blues. He is blocking everything. He's had to slide to his right, slide to his left. I wouldn't be surprised if he exits this game with a strawberry on his leg. This one's taken, strike 3. A swing and a miss for Jackson Bird. And another strikeout for Matt Betancourt. So that brings up Jake Brewer. Brewer is also 0 for 2 with a strikeout, but he has a ground out today. First pitch, Brewer rolls inside of a sweeper, and it misses inside for ball 1. Jake, today's third baseman, batting 9th for San Francisco. There's the 1-0. Brewer ducks out of a fastball that whistled by his ear for ball 2. As the pitcher Betancourt steps up on the rubber, got an announcement to make with the All-Star game a couple days from now. We have our list.
Yeah. Blues are sending 7 players to Compton for the All-Star game, highlighted by Zach Tollerman, Jaden Turner, E.J. Royal, Kate O'Hara, Sam Ardois, Spencer Gallimore, and Gavin Smith.
Congratulations to those Blues that will be heading to Compton in a couple of days. So again, that's Jaden Turner, the relief pitcher, Zach Tollerman, E.J. Royal, Kate O'Hara, Sam Ardois, Gavin Smith, and Spencer Gallimore is listed on there as well, but he is not on the team currently. And Jake Brewer in a 2-2 count with 1 out. Here it comes. Slider just missing outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes now.
Congratulations to those 7. They get to play on Tuesday in the showcase game.
Here's the payoff pitch. Misses outside. That's ball 4. Tugged the sweeper on Jake Brewer. And that's a 1-out walk here in the 8th. Jackson Bird strikes out to begin the frame, and then Jake Brewer walked. That is the first walk of the day issued from Matt Betancourt, and it puts a 1-out base runner on in the 8th.
And Nate and I just misinformed all of you, I believe.
Oh.
Tate O'Hara, it sounds like, is not going down, but Diego Murillo is.
Okay. First pitch swinging, sent in the air the opposite way. Suzuki moves to his left and makes the grab. So keep that same list. Swap Tate O'Hara with Diego Murillo.
Which makes me think that Tate O'Hara snub.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been great on the mound for the Blues.
He sure has. Very deserving of the honor.
But I mean, how could Diego Murillo not go?
Yes.
10 hits in the last 4 games.
Yeah.
Dude's a beast.
First pitch to the leadoff man, Josh Hansen. They try to pick over to first to get Brewer, but he's not there in time. 2 outs now, and Hansen is 0 for 3 today. Sits in an 0-1 count. A strikeout, a fly out, and a ground ball out, as this one misses low and outside. And a 2-0 count to the center fielder, who will be heading to Cal Berkeley come fall. The pitch. Hansen takes it just below the zone. 3 balls and no strikes. Also, who's in the lineup today that is an all-star? We have Tarman DHing, EJ in center, Sam at third, and Diego at short. This one misses high, and that's ball 4. Well, Betancourt has walked 2 batters in a row in the 8th, and there's runners on first and second for San Francisco.
The goals are threatening, trailing by 7. 2 on, 2 out. Blues bullpen has some action.
And it looks like we have a pinch hitter for Alan Ramirez. So the second baseman Ramirez's day is done. A couple of pop-outs and a ground ball out to the shortstop. And this is now Mac Galvin. Now check that. Caden Victorian's getting replaced by Matt Galvin. Swing and a fly ball to left. Hixenbaum moves to his right, makes the catch, and the side's retired. Still 7-1 heading into the bottom half of the 8th inning. Blues coming up on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the 8th inning is brought to you by our friends at Educational Employees Credit Union, conveniently located in Paso Robles. They can also be found at myeecu.org. Experience smarter banking at Educational Employees Credit Union. Kate O'Hara leads off this inning for the Blues and takes ball 1 against Gaber. Blues up 7-1 against the San Francisco Seagulls on a Mimosa Sunday just before the All-Star break. O'Hara takes a slider, and that's a called strike, 1-1. And Ryan and I just announced the All-Stars for San Luis Obispo. We'll go through it again. It's Jaden Turner, Zach Tollerman, E.J. Royal, Samar Dwa. Spencer Gallimore made it, but he will not be appearing. Gavin Smith is an alternate, and Diego Murillo will be heading to Compton as well. O'Hara swings and misses here. He is down in the count 1-2 against Gaber. Gavin Constantine stands on deck. He's 0 for 3. O'Hara's 0 for 2. A grounder to third, a fly out to left, and a walk in the 6th. And a pitch gets away from the catcher Chavez, and it's taken 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind blowing out to left field. Blues trying to seal a victory against San Francisco as they vie for the final playoff spot in the CCL North. 2-2. O'Hara almost hit by a pitch in the head. He ducks underneath it. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. There's been a few times this game where San Francisco pitching has gone completely buck wild and almost hit Blues batters in the head. And Cade was able to get out of the way in time, and now he sits in a 3-2 count. Gaber delivers. And O'Hara leaves it high. That's ball 4. Leadoff walk for Cade O'Hara brings up Gavin Constantine.
And Nate, I got something that probably wasn't on your CCL score or bingo card today.
Yep.
The Bombers beat the Foresters 2-1 at Eddie Matthews Field.
Whoa.
The Oaks also beat the Saints 4-1 at Sparky Anderson.
What else is new? Conejo is a very good team in the CCL South. Constantine checks his swing. It's a slow dribbler to first. The first baseman, Johnson, scoops it up himself and will tap first base for the first out of the inning.
An unlucky break there from Constantine. He tried to hold up the swing and it hit the bat and went in fair territory. Productive out, though. Works as a bunt in a way.
Sure does. Not necessarily what the Blues need right now, up by 6 against San Francisco, but hey, you know, another runner in scoring position. Up comes E.J. Royal now with 1 out. The righty Gaber comes set. With O'Hara at second, the runner goes, head first slide, and O'Hara is out. Chavez guns down Cade O'Hara, trying to take off towards third base, and just like that, there's 2 outs. Cade just getting a little bit too greedy. Just like when you were a kid reaching for the top shelf cookie dough that you're not supposed to touch, then your mom catches you, you're in trouble, just like Cade O'Hara getting thrown out at third.
God, I love me some raw cookie dough, man.
You ever had that vegan cookie dough that you don't have to cook? EJ sends this one high and deep in the air to right field, but it spins foul. It comes in a big red tub, and you just kind of sit there and just
like probably.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I get it at Sprouts.
Okay.
You can eat it like it's designed to be eaten.
I've definitely had a big tub of raw cookie dough. I don't know where it was from because I do remember one of my roommates bought it and he was like, I can't eat all of this. And I was like,
it's a lot.
I can.
Yeah. Challenge accepted. The 1-1. EJ takes a slider down the heart of the plate for strike 2.
Also around the CCL, currently the Dads and Menlo Park Legends, top 3, 0-0, but the Legends have the bases loaded with nobody out.
This is high. EJ takes it 2-2.
Some other games that have yet to start. Barons Riptide down at the Great Park in Irvine, and then Stompers Merchants. That's a big game for the Blues. That's at the College of Alameda.
Here's the 2-2. Taken low and outside. That's ball 3. The payoff pitch awaits for E.J. Royal with 2 outs. Bases empty, and the Blues up 7-1. From the windup, here's the pitch. E.J. with a lazy swing fights it off and sends it back into the fence behind home plate. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jake Hixenbaugh stands on deck. He's 2 of 3 today. E.J. still looking for his first base hit. He's 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch. He scored a run in the 7th when he was hit. Long hold from Gaber from the stretch. Here's the payoff. E.J. goes down swinging for strike 3. Frisbee's a slider into the zone, and Royal chases after it. We head into the top of the 9th inning. The last chance for San Francisco, trailing by 6 on the Slow Blues streaming network. And why is he coming in me? Last chance for the goals. Hunter Hammond comes out to close it for the Blues. First pitch is a called... check that. It's a called ball inside to Carson Chavez. Chavez is 1 for 2 today. A single in the 2nd, was hit by pitch in the 4th, and grounded into a double play in the 6th. And a steep hill to climb for San Francisco, but they famously put up 15 against the Blues a couple nights ago. Pitch misses downstairs, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. In the driver's seat, Chavez takes it inside. 3 balls and no strikes from Hammond. Hunter making his 7th appearance of the summer for San Luis Obispo, a .570 earned run average, and 14 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 19 hits, 14 strikeouts, and 9 earned runs. Taken down the middle of the plate, and that's strike 1.
Betancourt's day is done. 4 innings of work, a hit, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Really good outing for Betancourt, maybe his best of the summer.
Good outing for the pitching staff. This Blues staff of Johnson, Betancourt, now hopefully Hammond Been very productive today as this one's fouled off the forearm of the home plate umpire. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. Chavez takes his time stepping back in the batter's box as a pinch hitter stands on deck. The payoff. Chavez takes it, strike 3. Hammond hits the outer half on the sweeper, and that's the first out of the 9th. A mint slider from Hunter Hammond chips the outer half of the zone. It's the first out of the inning. So here is Mark Zhu now. He actually came in to play defense this past half inning for San Francisco, and now he will hit for David Gibbs. Gibbs went 0 for 1 today with a ground ball out and walked his first 2 plate appearances. First pitch is fisted off the bat of Zhu and into the grass bleachers for strike 1. Pitch misses high, 1-1 now. Hammond from the windup, the lanky righty from Westmont delivers. On the pitch, slider, swing and miss, strike 2. 1-2 to Mark Zhu. Started yesterday for the Seagulls. The pitch, Zhu chases it and fouls it straight back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Zhu, in yesterday's start, he batted 9th and played in right field. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Here's the pitch. Zhu chases it for strike 3. Hammond comes out of the pen and gets 2 Ks in a row. Seagulls down to their final out, trailing by 6. All comes down to Derek Waldvogel. Check that. It is not Derek Waldvogel, it is Finn Whalen coming into pinch hit. But Whalen was the starter 2 days ago, and he started yesterday on offense. First pitch swinging and missing is Whalen for strike 1. Yeah, Whalen was the starting pitcher against the Blues and terrorized the offense, and then came in yesterday and pinch hit for Jake Brewer, went 0 for 2. Takes the pitch down low, 1 ball and 1 strike from Hunter Hammond. Blues up 7-1 against the Seagulls, trying to have a happy bus ride into the All-Star break, and I think they'll get it. A pop out to first base, O'Hara toes the first base line, kicks up some chalk and makes the grab. Blues win the series against San Francisco.
Good game for the Blues, good game for the pitching staff. Nate, who do we want to give dog of the day to?
Ooh.
Is it the pitching staff? Is it Diego Murillo? Maybe Hicks?
This is tough, man. It's between, in my eyes, Murillo and the staff. Diego Murillo or the pitching staff for dog of the day? We're asking our statisticians right now in the press box on their perspective of dog of the day. Here's a recap if anyone in the chat wants to chime in on this discussion potentially. Diego Murillo went 3 for 4, scored 2 runs and drove in a run.
Stole 2 bags.
Stole 2 bags too. And then there's the pitching staff who, in 9 innings of work, allowed 1 run on 2 hits. Also, 10 strikeouts in 9 innings.
And it maybe, if you think it's Hicksonbaugh, maybe 2.
It could be Hicks.
2 for 3 with a double, a single, 2 runs scored, and a walk. It's a good day. The boys tip their cap. Should we flip a coin? Pitching staff and Murillo?
It's a photo finish. We got a.
Should we random number generator? 1 through 3.
A Hicks vote, a Diego vote, and a staff vote. I think it's between staff and Diego, personally.
Okay, let's give Hicks his flowers. Let's cut it to 2 and flip a coin.
Okay.
Okay.
Great job, Hicks.
Heads is Diego Murillo. Tails is the staff.
This is ridiculous.
Hey Siri, flip a coin. It's tails, which means it's the staff.
All right, pitching staff gets the dog of the day. It's okay because Murillo is our player of the week
Yes,
this week.
Murillo easily our player of the week. 4 multi-hit games in a row for Diego Murillo. Gets his second player of the week, and the pitching staff gets back-to-back, their first dog of the day, I think, that we've given to a pitching staff.
That's right. That was offered up earlier in the season. It hasn't happened yet up until now. Bryce Johnson, Matt Betancourt, and Hunter Hammond are barking on this Sunday afternoon. We're going to head into the break. The Blues finish the first, 3 quarters of the season, 24-14. They're 17-13 in conference play, and time will tell where they stand in the playoffs as it is coming down to the wire in the CCL North. Thanks for watching Blues Baseball on your Sunday afternoon on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a hiatus during the All-Star break, but we'll see you right after on SBSN. Nate Mills and Ryan Giacomini, thank you for joining